What's happening, brother?
Young Bruce, what's up with you, man?
Hey, man, just doing all right. It was a beautiful day down here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the metro area. So, feeling good, brother. Feeling good. How about
You
yourself?
you survived the All-Star weekend out there, man?
Oh man, I'm not even in the proximity to have to survive, man. I'm good. That's not even. Um, I'm good, man. But hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. Well, more so than enjoy themselves was safe for them and their families. You know what I mean? After the fact. So
Well, people definitely enjoyed themselves. You know that. I got a lot of people who were out there enjoying themselves out there, imbibing and being a part of the festivities out there. So I know it was definitely a good time for all, man. Shout out to everybody that's here right now and anyone that is here. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button like this. It's real easy. Bruce, you ready to kick us off, man?
as a matter of fact, actually, let me drop this needle.
Oh,
I am, and I'm gonna start one off. I'm gonna start this off today with a record that I had been searching for a while. Don't come up on it often, and I found a copy. It cost a little too much. Well, it was a different pressing than I wanted it. Originally, it was a gatefold and it was a single cover. So I was like,
mm.
I don't want to pay that. I don't want that. I want the gatefold. And then the following weekend, I found a copy, and I'm very much happy with it. And it is Dizzy Gillespie, "Swing Low, Sweet Cadillac." Um, Dizzy. Dizzy is somebody we got to give it up to. He really, bring in the bebop style of jazz to the forefront. That those type of arrangements and playing and improv styles, helping to bring that to the forefront. He really touched a lot of other kinds of music as well. Especially things like that eventually became funk and whatnot. It's that attitude. You know what I'm saying? It's just that kind of rhythmic style of playing it. And when you take that rhythm, you can really apply it to any kind of style of music. You know what I mean? And that's like that feeling, that funk is. You know what I mean? Essentially, it's just
Jazz is the father of R&B. To be honest with you, man, it
so.
is.
So yeah. So this is a record by Dizzy. I believe it's 1966 or 65 on Impulse Records.
Mm.
Impulse Records. For those of you who don't know, John Coltrane's label that he infamously recorded for the last 5 or 6 years of his life. And I'm rambling a lot, but this is an awesome record, and I'm going to talk a little bit more. The track I'm going to be playing is a cover of Georgie Ben of Brazil, Mais Que Nada, famous in the U.S. from Sergio Mendes in the Brazil '66. But Dizzy drops his version around the same time as them, and this is his rendition. So Dizzy Gillespie, Mais Que Nada. So yeah, Dizzy, man. Um, I don't mean to speak over his solo, but for the sake of the time on the show, um, yeah, Dizzy was just an amazing cat, man. He brought a lot to the game, and we're forever indebted to him. Um, so yeah, Dizzy Gillespie, Mais Que Nada from the Swing Low, Sweet Cadillac LP.
Play a little bit more of that, man.
So that's Mike Longo on piano, James Moody on flute, and I'm not sure if I heard alto in there, but James Moody on flute, Candy Finch on drums, and Frank Schifano on bass. So Dizzy Gillespie, you know, always reaching out to the younger cats and putting them on the game. Always having the young cats in his band. You know what I mean? Graduating cats, reaching back.
You know,
I think we could take a lesson from that.
how I can always remember Dizzy Gillespie as I remember him on the Cosby Show. And then Stevie Wonder, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, he brought him out there. Blow! So that was pretty cool too. Today's a great day. Shout out to everybody that's here with us right now, man. Shout out to everybody that's here. Remember, everyone, this show is 100% interactive. Therefore, you could comment, man. Give your comments. It'll be right here live with us on the show. We'll be having a great time and fellowshipping together, because this show is just not me and Bruce, but this show is for everyone. It's for everyone. And we'll share some things a little bit later. I know a couple people texting me during the show. It's like, what's up with the shirts? The shirts are here. Shirts are here. Shirts are here. What's up, ologist? Shirts are here. Shirts are here. Just 1 second. Let us do the show, man. That's like it's like the radio tease. Let us do the show, and then we'll work you to that. Now, what's getting ready to happen is, we're starting off the show, and anytime I start off, I like to start off with someone I know personally, somebody I've worked with, somebody I love and care for. Glenn Jones is that person. I had the opportunity to do some work with him in Atlanta. It was going on like a tour, going around. It was just he and I going to like talk to a lot of youth groups in Atlanta. He was explaining the history of music from them, everything from reel to reel to records to tapes to CDs and 8-tracks. Like those children, you should have seen them. Wow. Then he would sing for them, man, and it would just be so cool. So, I mean, I think that's where that came from. But in speaking of this album, he didn't even have this album. He was letting me know that this record wasn't even sold in the United States. And I was like, wow. He was like, where'd you get it from? I was like, I did. I got it from overseas. This was just one of those records that it was the EP. And, you know, they always ran EPs on people to test to see how it would work. So a lot of times they would send those overseas.
So where was that pressed?
I want to say in 83. When?
Yeah, where?
We'll go into the when, and all of that a little bit later. But right after this, because that was on the spot and I wasn't ready for that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this song. It's called Love Intensity, and we're going to let it just jam. I love songs when they start out like this. There you have it. Some good funk from the year of our Lord, 1983.
What I was saying was, where was that pressed?
It was pressed in America, but they sent them over there.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was pressed here in America, but they sent them over there. So to test out on that audience, they just didn't sell them here. So yeah, RCA wanted to see how it would ride, and they sent out a limited number over there, and this happens to be still one of them. And I wish I had another copy when he said that, because I really, you know, my heart, I just wanted to give it to him. But I'm like, man, like one of my favorite songs from you is on this album. So I was like, he was like, no, we'll wait. But he didn't even have a copy of this. So that made me feel like, wow. Like when he looked at it and he was like, wow, man, this was right after my gospel singing. Yeah, because he was a gentleman, another person I had interviewed prior, probably about 3 or 4 years before we went on our run together. So yeah, shout out to Glenn Jones, man. A real good guy right there, man. And like Ologist just said, undeniable funk.
Is he from Atlanta?
No, I think he's from the Midwest somewhere, but he now makes his home in Atlanta. Like, so,
okay.
Yeah, he's in Atlanta, man, working with some good people. The Camdy group. Shout out to the Camdy group. Real good people, good management team. So yeah. I'm trying to remember. I wanted to make sure I said the right name, but that is it. And again, man, shout out to everybody that's here. We see Ologist here, and anybody else that's here, man. Make sure you stop by the comment. Just say hello. We're all here. We're all family. We don't bite. Okay. We got someone here. It says, "What up, folks?" Somebody on Twitch.
What's happening, brother? Yeah. Okay. Shout out to everybody listening and watching on Twitch, and shout out to everybody watching on YouTube as well.
There we go. What's up, Bruce?
So I guess my next joint is one that I say, I like to be honest on that show, one that I overlooked. I actually had a copy years back and I sold it. It was like, came across another copy and decided to keep it around for a bit. And it's one that I actually have gone back to a few times recently. And it is by Patrice Rushen. I believe this is her second LP for Prestige Records. The wonderful Patrice Rushen. A lot of people know her from Forget Me Nots, but she had quite an illustrious career prior to that as a multi-keyboardist, playing with jazz cats, funk, R&B, all styles. And she's still out here, you know, killing it, shining her light in a big way. But yeah, so this is her second album, I believe, and it was on Prestige Records in 1975. I believe she's about like 17 or 18 on this album, leading this album with musicians such as the flautist Hubert Laws, the guitarist Lee Ritenour, drummer Harvey Mason, and drummer Leon Chancellor. Those are just a few of the names playing with her on this record. And like I said, she's 17 or 18 years old. And all the music from this album, all the music from this time period is very playful. There is a childlike exuberance to it, you know what I mean? And I think that makes the music just even better, you know? I guess it really encapsulated, you know, that time of her life, you know, because all these selections are composed by her. I thought a few might be covers, but they're all from her. So,
she was like Prince when she first came out. So that was the connection. That's why Prince really liked her so much.
Did she play with Prince on any recordings? Do you know?
I know some things that she played on that he did live, like for the Grammys, some things like that. And I know he played on some stuff for her. I'm not for sure everything that she did with him on recordings, but it's documented. Like he loved her because she was just as much of a prodigy as he was.
Were. And I guess they probably were right around the same age too.
The same age, yeah.
But yeah, so the joint I'm gonna play is the first track on the album entitled "Kicking Back." So this is Patrice Rushen, Kicking Back. That's Leon Chancellor on the drums and Dugu. And I'm not sure what that is. That might be an ARP. I don't know if that's an ARP 2600 or if it's a mini Moog.
It doesn't say it on the back.
It doesn't say. It just says electric piano synthesizers. It doesn't specify which joint she used, but that's a sweet sound right there. I know she's definitely playing Rhodes. But yeah, man. Again, Patrice Rushen, just a prestigious talent recording for Prestige Records.
I'm gonna have to revisit. You're gonna make me revisit that, man, because she's a monster in everything that she does. Like, you can't go wrong with anything that you buy with her name on it.
Yeah, really solid career.
Yeah, man, a very solid career, man.
Yeah.
We'll be here a week talking about Patrice Rushen, man, and
sure could.
That's going on. Shout out to Tiff. How you say his name? Cinemonics.
Cinemonics is what it looks like to me. Peace Cinemonics, peace Tip.
Yeah, Ologist and everybody else that's here. You know what I'm saying? If you stop by, just say hello.
YouTube, Twitch. What's happening?
Seems like we have a lot of Twitch viewers today. So shout out to everybody that's getting down with us on the mighty Twitch. All right. Right now, I'm getting ready to take us to the city of Atlanta. Why are we going to the city of Atlanta, D?
Beautiful weather.
Bruce is there. Yeah. Y'all got some beautiful weather out there. You ain't seeing this weather out here, though.
No, we're not. But I'm taking it, as I get it, and I'm enjoying it.
I got you.
But relatively, it was nice.
Yeah. We're about to get down with a track produced by Kai Alisi. You know what I'm saying? A real strong cat in the field of house music. And this is by Desiree Dawn. This song is called The Real Deal. I heard this a couple of weeks ago on Kai's page, and he was saying, he was promoting it. Hey, get this on Bandcamp. And I was like, yeah, let me jump on it. I didn't even need to hear it. Once I got on Bandcamp, I bought it and I listened to it. I was like, whoa, I had already bought it by then. So here's that record right here, The Real Deal, Desiree Dawn with these beautiful vocals. And we're going to hear them right now.
Imitation unoriginal. So much for the fairy tale. And who cares after the dust clears? Will we be official? Or is this another episode? I want this to be something I bet. Something I bet to be see the real dead. I want this to be something I bet. Something I bet to be see the real dead. I want this to be something I bet. Something I bet to be see the real dead. I want this to be something I bet. Something I bet to be see the real dead.
There you have it. Desiree Dawn, Kyalisi produced the real deal. So I'm going to tell you guys again, if you have the opportunity to go over to Bandcamp, because they're producing a very limited amount of vinyl, which is normally the case. So head over to Bandcamp, look up Making Moves, and try to find this record. Get it now before it's gone, because when it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, this joint is jamming.
And a trumpet, I'm betting that was probably like Dashiell Smith or somebody like that.
Yeah, they didn't give much information. I was looking on the Bandcamp as we were talking to see if I had more information on Dashiell Smith. So yeah,
okay,
I have more information on when I was speaking, but yeah, man, just a beautiful song. Like I said, it's available on Bandcamp. So if you guys can go out and go get it, go get it. There it is right there.
All right. Yeah, so I saw actually Dashiell play with Roy Ayers a couple years back on my birthday for a show Roy was doing. I believe me and Roy shared the same birthday, January 15th. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was my birthday, and that's why I went to the show. But and enjoy.
What was that? Was that show at
City Winery?
City Winery. I was there.
Yeah. No, because me and Ox was there too. So
no, I was in the back.
Really?
Yes.
I know he did two shows 2 years in a row, I believe.
I know I caught that one at City Winery because
it was in January 15th.
I was in the back. Okay. Yeah, I was in the back.
Me and Ox were there too.
Okay.
Shout out to our brother Ox, good brother Ox.
Yeah. I was behind the stage watching because I didn't get a ticket, and somebody kind of grabbed me through that back door and said, "Come on." So he's kind of walking like this. And when he was getting ready to get off the stage, I had to kind of zip so he didn't see me walking through.
Yeah, it was a really dope show because he did a few tracks from his album Africa Center of the World 1980, and then he did another one from I think it's called Lots of Love from like 83 or so. And those two albums are probably two of my favorites from his and probably up there with his best work, really. Okay. So yeah, Mr. Roy Ayers putting it down. And I guess kind of playing off the whole soulful jazz funk sound, that sets me up for the next guy I'm going to play. So Andrew White was a alto and tenor player based out of Washington, D.C. And he had his own imprint, his own label, Andrew's Music. And he printed up many, many albums with just these plain white sleeves and the credits in a gold font, just like this. You know, maybe the title changes font, but just like the simple text, just like this, nothing on the back. And you're wondering, okay, how does that tie in? Well, the Blackbyrds, some other young cats kind of playing off the whole Patrice thing. The Blackbyrds out of Washington, D.C. came up under Donald Byrd, another trumpeter who put young cats on. Shout out to Dizzy, or rest in peace to Dizzy, rest in peace to Donald, you know, living eternally through your music. And but the cats playing with Andrew White on this record are Donald Byrd's understudies, Kevin Toney, who played piano and keys in the Blackbyrds, and Keith Kilgo on drums, who was the drummer for the Blackbirds. So these young cats, this was 75. So these cats were, again, teenagers getting it in. And I believe their first album came out in 75. And that album and this album are completely different. So it shows you the amount of skill these kids had to go, back and forth. And they're playing with masters like Andrew White. And the joint I'm going to be playing is actually a John Coltrane composition entitled Crescent. So Andrew White, Crescent. So this is number 14. So this is the 14th album on Andrew's Music, Andrew White's label. And yeah, it's like Alex just pointed out, all those plain sleeves, man. And the music is amazing. Andrew's leading them, and he got these young cats playing behind him. And, they were able to do this sound, and then they were able to, get a little more slick with the, fatback drums and everything like that, trap drums, with the Blackbirds. So, masters reaching back to the youth and youth learning from, the masters. I mean, it's a cycle that is a positive perpetuation. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we need to, keep up with,
Most definitely, especially in today's today's music scene. I like how they did it back in those days. Like, they really looked back and they yanked and they groomed and they sent them on their way in some cases. And in today's thing, it's just like so many people are undercooked. They get out there, because they have a hot single, and they're not carrying on the legacy. Oh, got to carry on the legacy and innovate at the same time. That's all right.
And then, at the same time, it's each one of us duty to be able to pass things on as well. Hey, peace to JB hopping in here through YouTube. What's happening, brother?
Of course. Shout out to everyone that's listening. Shout out to everyone that's getting down. This week on the title track, I decided to go with this album from Gigolo. The reason why I posted this record, I took it, a good friend of mine from Saltbox Records, XL Millerton, that's his spot, and he was selling the record, and I think I just missed it. Or did I get this? No, I did. No, I ended up getting this from him. No, because it's another record I'm going to play that I just missed that I ended up having to get from Germany. So he had this record up, and I hit him. I don't think anyone bid it or said mine. And what he ended up doing was, I said, "Hey man, is that record for sale?" He said, "Oh yeah, it's still there." I jumped on it real quick. The reason why this record is significant to me is my Uncle Demetrius used to play this record in the 80s. And I used to always ask him for this record because it was I liked it. I thought it was just cool. It was only 2 singles on the record. Precious and Goldfinger Babies on the second side. Goldfinger is more of a funk banger. But this Precious is more of a night rides and slow jams kind of mood. So we getting ready to jump into that right now. Let's have a taste of this. This song is called Precious by Gigolo.
Once upon a time, all I did was dream about you. You were also fine. All I did was talk about you. I just want to hold you. You're the kind of girl that's so hard to find. I can't live without you. Don't you know you're always on my mind, girl? I just can't believe I'm here with you, girl. It's so hard for me to understand. Never thought I'd get a chance with you, girl. Won't you take me home with you? 'Cause you are precious to me, precious to me.
Gigolo Precious. Just some real cool, laid back, grown man kind of music. You know what I'm saying? And I used to love it when he used to play this record. He would play more of the Goldfinger record, but I remember sneaking and grabbing this record from him, and I was just delighted that Saltbox had this available because now I get to relive it.
Top notch production on that one.
Come on now.
So who was behind that group?
Well,
I've
since you
never
asked,
heard. So.
it's like 4 guys. So none of these guys are guys that anybody, I'm not going to say that anybody would know because these just aren't everyday names, but
Yeah.
Joe Argio, Gary Corolla, Ray Delacia, yeah, right. Mark Mateo, and
You
a
at
lot
least
of
gotta
other
say
people.
their name, right? You at least gotta try the name. Just
No,
'cause
I'm
we
not,
don't
man.
know
You're
them, you
not
gotta
gonna
give
have
them.
me butchering these folks' names, man. Like that's not even right. So if you guys can try to find this album on any platform that you try to, I know it's not gonna be available on any digital platforms, but I'm maybe, I guess maybe might YouTube or something. But if you guys can find this, man, it's just a plain album. They had nothing else that they put out. Just sounds
Okay.
like a lot of cats from Italy just got down and they made this album and here it is. So yeah.
So kind of like a tangent. That's like a scene within itself. That whole
Yes.
Italian, R&B vibe from the late 70s through the 80s really solidified in the 80s. The sound as we now know it.
Yeah, you have groups like Change and producers Mauro Malavasi and so many great people out there from Italy that just got down and just brought so much heat.
What was, I don't really know anything about that. Was there, cats from here who went over there and put guys on, or was it guys who like came over
They
here?
were contracting a lot of people out from here. So like Mike Murphy from The System, he's one of those people that would go over there and get down with them. I might play a song, another like Italian disco kind of get down. Just depends on the time. I might do that, or like Change Luther. They were smart enough to grab a bunch of musicians, record them over there, come back, bring it back over here, or record up in New York. But those were Italian producers. Everybody was always like, man, those Change songs were so funky. A lot of those were Italian cats just coming over here getting down. So many different people, man, in the R&B funk genre that just that Italian disco, that Italian boogie, that Italian sound is just beautiful.
Mhm.
They did it right. They again, they took what they heard was going on in R&B, and they put their stamp on it, and it was beautiful.
So, you mind if I put you on a hot seat for a moment?
Yeah, you've been putting me on the hot seat this whole one, so let's go ahead. Let's go with it.
So, what do you think it is that makes their music not only, you know, sonically exceptional, but made with integrity, as opposed to, you know, how, you know, other opposed to how our music is being played other places where you see it kind of be taken out of context. What do you think it is about that situation that made them, you know, be able to approach it, you know, in such a, I guess, solid way, for
I
lack
don't
of a
think they was
better?
coming from a standpoint of poaching. You know, I think a lot of times people come from the standpoint of poaching. They're not. I don't want to say that. It's just they're not. A lot of people aren't genuine in what they're doing, or people will borrow the sound and act as if it came from them. You know, I'm really trying to be very diplomatic in what I say because a lot of that goes on today in a lot of music scene in a lot of the music scenes. It was a huge conversation when I had the conversation with James Mtume, and we spoke about that at length, like how it's just more. Sometimes people accept our sound from someone else outside of us because it's more relatable. Does that make sense? It's more
Mhm.
relatable because it's coming from somebody that looks like them. Everybody wants the sound. Everybody appreciates the sound, but some people appreciate it more when it comes from someone that looks like them, if that makes sense. I'm being very diplomatic in my words right now. I've
It's
learned
cool.
over these last 10 weeks that we've been doing this that, you know, plus I had a good massage, so I'm very mellow right now.
Hey.
Mellow as a cello.
But again, I think you know, that Gigolo track that you just played, you know, is a perfect example of cross cultural collaboration done right. You know what
And
I'm
you
saying?
see, uh, JB ended up saying Mark Mateo, one of the guys whose name I did not butcher, played with Little Anthony and the Imperials, Bo Diddley, Taylor Swift. So, you
Wow.
know, you know, I guess there were some artists on there. Again, I didn't know. I was just caught a pass that Bruce threw to me real quick, and I had to. But the cool thing about it is we have a great musical family here that get down with us. Shout out to Joshua White for joining us, and
Yes.
thank you for
Peace, Josh.
that impromptu flyer that he put
Yes,
up.
that flyer was very dope. Thank
That
you,
was, man.
Josh.
I'm trying to get him on the payroll, man. He's I need him on the payroll. I need you, man. Holla at me, man. Holla at me.
All right. So this next joint is also a kind of international approach, if you will, of sorts, international collaboration. It's a 7-inch, a 45 that I actually picked up this past weekend when I was out and about, by the vocalist Sarah Vaughan, the wonderful, unique, amazing, you know, deep voice of Sarah Vaughan. And this is a collaboration she did with Michael Legrand, an arranger and composer out of France. Um, did a lot of amazing work in the 50s and 60s, arranging and conducting for many artists. And he had work under his name as well, but you know, some of his most legendary work is with for other people. And this Sarah Vaughan record is on Mainstream Records, which was a label in the 60s and 70s that did a lot of vocal jazz, like Carmen McRae, I think Morgana King. Excuse me if I'm butchering that name, and others, and a lot of jazz vocalists mainly, and some pop. But this is just an amazing composition. It's entitled "Pieces of a Dream." Sarah can just, you know, she has this way of bending notes and really putting the emotion in them. I guess it doesn't really do any good to hear me talk about it. We should just kind of listen to her. So Sarah Vaughan, arranged by Michael Legrand, Pieces of a Dream.
Little boy lost in search of little boy found. You go wandering, wandering, stumbling, tumbling around. When will you find what's on the tip of your mind? Why are you blind to all you ever were, never were, really are, nearly are, little boy for?
So the thing that I really like most about this song in particular is all the different things that kind of flutter in and out of the arrangement. The horns will come in. It might be they have the brass horns at one part, and then it's like the reeds going in the background, like the flute going in the background during the verses. The strings, how they just kind of swoop in at certain parts and disappeared, and slowly come back in. Just stuff like that. I really enjoy. It really hits my soul, and I don't know what it is about it. I think because it has a childlike quality, and I guess I spoke on that earlier with like Patrice Rushen or whatnot, how her compositions have a childlike quality to them, and songs like this do as well in my eyes, because just the way the arrangements kind of jump around, and the lyrics too, to a certain extent, they're simple, but they're deep, almost like how a child can say something in innocence, and you're looking at it like, wow, that's actually kind of profound in the bigger scheme of things. But yeah, man, Sarah Vaughan, Michael Legrand, Pieces of a Dream, Mainstream Records. People kind of, put their nose up to stuff like this at times, and I think it's because they hear it and they say, oh, well, it's not funky, or it doesn't really, have that, certain bop, that Dizzy Gillespie bop to it, you know what I mean? But the magic, rhythmically is there as well. It's not as pronounced, but the magic is also just in the composition as a whole, as it progresses and evolves. And I think that within itself is, kind of that it feeling, you know what I mean, that we're searching for. That's what I think it represents. So, and that just comes from honest music. That's just honest. That's soul. That's just another way soul can be expressed. So keep your ears open. That's just my little lesson to everybody, including myself. I'm always like, wow, I can't believe I overlooked certain things. But just keep your ears open, and that's going to keep your heart open. It's going to keep your mind open, and, you're going to be feeling good all at the same time. So Sarah Vaughan, Michael Legrand, Pieces of a Dream. Yeah, man.
I can't come behind that and say nothing, so I'm going to go. Yeah, because there's nothing else to even say behind that, man. You just gave it right then, so I'm going to give you that. Shout out to that, man. If you guys have the funds, can we see that? Is there an album cover there?
No,
No,
it's just
okay.
White
45.
Label
It's right.
45.
So if you guys have the funds, man, make sure you check that out.
It's
Sarah
probably
Vaughan,
like you probably buy it for like $1.50.
but you get a piece of history, and that's real history.
Yep.
That's
Beautiful
real
music.
history right there. Since we talked about the Italio disco movement, and I talked about the song because a lot of times I'll say a song and then I'll forget. Next week I'll be on to something else. Once I'm out of that moment, I'm out of it. This song is called "Ask the Boss." Is by one of those groups called Flowchart. They didn't have this was just one of those songs that they tested out. Mike Murphy from the System. You'll recognize his voice instantly when he starts singing because he has one of those voices. This is one of those songs that we're gonna let the music speak. Taste it. Sometime today.
Ask the boss to raise my salary. Ask the boss to raise my salary. I'll ask the boss to raise my salary. Otherwise, I can't take care of me.
They're letting you know they're real musicians. You see how long this intro is?
Hard to survive each day. I work from 9 to 5, but the money that I make is just a payday. Hard to succeed, to see the very thing I need is more green to come into my life.
Ask the boss to raise my salary. Ask the boss to raise my salary. I'll ask the boss to raise my salary. Otherwise, I can't take care of it.
So discontent to see my landlord raise the rent. Now I can't afford to meet my obligations. All that I know can't take this pressure anymore. If I make some extra dough, things would be fine.
There you go. That's the boss. You hear young Mike Murphy of System fame just getting down and just giving you guys some real grooves, man. But a lot of our artists contracted themselves out, to go do those groups like that because groups like this could catch fire. Like I said, look at what Change did. Change had many years of just cracking our heads wide open with just bomb grooves. And I think the last Change album was produced by Jimmy and Terry. But yeah, they just up until then it was all that Italio disco sounding, man. It was just their mixes are just so clean over there too, man. For some reason, it's just a brighter mix. It's very bright.
Yeah, they get that the bass has a certain quality to it where it really it's like overdriven, but it's still we're like warm and you
It's
know what I
very
mean?
warm. But the vocals are always bright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those vocals. Like I've been trying to learn that mixing style for years, and I wish that I had someone that could show me. I mean, a lot of times, just these type of people are all retired, for the most part anyway, man. But to get on an SSL and to mix, like, man, anybody who's ever mixed a record or mixed an album to sit down by a SSL, it's a feeling that I can't describe it. It's the best feeling in the world.
So can you explain to us what a SSL is?
Yeah, it's a mixing console, and it's probably the best mixing console that you would want to mix on. But it's almost like driving a Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to drive the Rolls Royce. You want to sit in the back of it. but to touch on that SSL console is man, my hands are shaking now even just thinking about it. I had one opportunity to touch one in Patchwork, and it was just a beautiful feeling. It was with something that Whitney Houston was recording in there, and like I said, my hands, man, it's just I was assistant engineer, and I wasn't even an engineer. So imagine, I can only imagine what that was like. I was just honored to hear her vocals, you know.
Mm,
And,
mm. What era did this mixing console come from? Is it a 80s, 70s, 90s? Like
it's been
when?
around for a while. You guys can Google all of those facts on it. I'm not a historian on the
All right.
board, yeah,
I
but
wasn't sure if there was a certain like sound,
no, because
related to
they're
it.
still used today.
Okay.
There are newer versions of it today, but the one, I mean, I don't know the year of the one that I was on because I wasn't that much of a student of it like that. Oh man, because I know I couldn't afford it, man. The thing was like it was like a $200,000-$300,000 mixing console, so it wasn't like working on a Mackie or uh, or getting on an Allen and Heath. Allen and Heath, that's a nice board too, but they couldn't see the XSL, you know. Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
All
Oh, and
right.
this was another one of those German imports. I got this one from Germany, so yeah, man. A lot of these songs, man, they're imported. So if you could find it out there, man, try to find it. Flowchart, that's the boss.
All right. There's also there's a deep message wrapped up in that catchy song too.
Exactly.
Whole economic message in it too. So, it touches on class and economics and everything.
Exactly.
The struggling of the working class, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. The last joint that I'm going to be playing tonight is one that, just came in the house today. Came home to it, and I've been waiting for it for a while. Got it from another discerning collector. And it is the Cuban band Irakere. I've played songs from them a few times before. They've definitely been featured in mixes and other things I've done. Just one of my favorite bands, led by the keyboardist pianist Chucho Valdez. Just a giant in the Afro-Cuban and greater jazz world pantheon. And this is from their first album. It's a track entitled, this is a 7-inch on Egrem Producciones. That's the state label out of Havana. From their first album, this track is called Nisa Luba. It's just kind of like a mix of Afro-Cuban rhythms and drumming with, psychedelic jazz, rock embellishments, with the horns and the guitars and effects and everything. It's very, very progressive and forward-thinking music. So, Irakere Nisa Luba. Irakere Misaluba.
That bass player was sliding all up and down that scale, man. Just like
Yeah.
JB said, man. That's moving.
Moving,
Yeah.
man. And you know, amazing music from a country with a giant history in music and much more than music, I should say. So yeah.
Well, there you have it, man. Thank you for sharing that beautiful composition with us. Before we share our last song, and then we'll get to the things that some of you guys want to know about, merchandise. I'm going to end this up with LW5. This group was produced by Paul Hardcastle. This is the only album that you're going to get from them. There's a couple singles out there that they dropped out, but I don't think that version thought enough of them to to bring them back to keep doing records. But here's a song from the title track here called Get to Know You. You again, I think the common theme with a lot of the records I've played today have been all imported grooves. Things coming well, except for the house song, but a lot of things I've played today have been imported. So that was just, I don't know how that happened, but it did. So we're getting ready to get into this right now. And this was the record I was speaking of that at Saltbox that he had to sell, and I just missed it. I mean, I was hot. I was like, how did I miss? Like literally, man. Like I've never argued with nobody on a thing, man. I was like, man, I'm sorry. I had to catch myself because this was a record I've been trying to find for a while, and I ended up calling my friend on WhatsApp over in Germany, and he sent it right to me. So here we go.
You love me, you love me not. You love me, you love me not. Why do we play these foolish games when it seems so clear to see that every time you pass my way, I'm watching you look at me.
So much to gain, what can I lose if I should find a way to ask your name? Would you look at me and turn away? 'Cause something tells me you're feeling the same way too.
Searching around in the dark, ever so lonely. But your smile has captured my heart, about my guiding light. I would like to get to know you, to know you. I would like to get to know you, to know you.
There you have it. Little LW5 to close this out, man. Again, man, cats just overseas, man. They something about that, like you said, it's something about that sound, man. When they took it and they made their thing. With Paul Hardcastle, you can't go wrong with him anyway. Just a
Yeah, he got that signature sound.
Yeah, and when you heard it, soon as it came on,
those keys, yeah, you know it.
Yeah, it's just that sound in that time. Again, if Ox was here, Ox would say you have a wheelhouse of a year, and this is close to it. This isn't 80, 86, 87, but it's 85, and like I've always told Ox, that is a whole time period from 85 to 87 to me is just cold blooded when it came to over cats overseas doing their thing because they were all monsters.
Mm-hmm.
What you got going on, brother Bruce?
Oh man, this Saturday I'll be debuting my show on Universal Rhythms Radio, based out of London. Shout out to the UK Massive tuning in wherever you are.
Yes.
Everything is everything. It'll be debuting 11 a.m. Eastern, so 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. which is 8 a.m. in the West Coast to 10 a.m. and in London town, that is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
You got it all mastered.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico, that's 12 to 2. So yeah, everything is everything. Just my attempt at, showing the interrelationships of various forms of music, the music which I love, and trying to present it in a way that gives some context and allows for a sense of heightened sense of imagination. That's what I'm going for. So yeah.
Well, we'll make sure we all tune in. Everybody that's here, make sure we tune in, man. Bruce is gonna be doing this thing this weekend, so we all definitely got to get down with the brother because he's getting down with us, and so we definitely, have to show one another love. That's the theme of everything I do. Primarily, I believe we should support one another, and in especially in that, man, because you're crossing over into markets that you're supposed to be in. You're supposed to be in those type of markets, getting that money and showing these people what it really is. It shouldn't just come from people who don't have that heritage. Music is for everybody, but at the same time, sometimes it has to come from an authentic place. And I'm just happy that, and not saying nobody else isn't authentic, but sometimes it got to come from the people who look like the music. That's what it is. So yeah, it just has to, because here lately it's like we as a people will make a sound and we'll toss it aside, and then someone else will pick it up and they'll get down with it, and then people will be like, well, you kind of took it, you threw it aside for whatever was the new shiny object. And you can't get upset when someone does it, but we just have to have more representation of color when it comes to spinning certain types of records. All of us just don't spin and scratch. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. All of us ain't that guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But some of us go deep into our R&B file. Some of us go deep into the jazz file. Some of us go deep into house and gospel. There's all genres, and it should not always be a representation of someone else who didn't come from that. And yeah. So
yeah. I feel you, brother. I think you're touching on various multiple topics there.
But it's all under one moon, and it all makes sense. So
yes,
yeah. But catch Bruce's show this weekend. If you do anything else.
What about yourself, brother? What do you got going on?
I got this beautiful shirt that I have going on. 100%. So I told you guys that we will be debuting a lot of new material, and that we would have the website up and live today. And unfortunately, that website will not be up and live today, but I will have something posted on the website that'll probably be up and live tomorrow. We're not going to I was texting back and forth with the web designer, and we're not going to let anybody hold us back. So I'm just going to show you guys the items that will be up for sale. And, I had to consult with the Record Fairy because she is the boss, and the Record Fairy told me the prices to set them out for people. So this is what's going to be available on the site. We have these beautiful new coffee mugs here. Music is the key here. And we have an assortment of different shirts here. Now I call this an assortment. I call this the Bruce. This is the Bruce right here, because the Milwaukee Buck color joint. I started to make the circle purple. I started to do it, but on the future runs, I'll get more creative. But this is the green joint, and we'll just keep going. Dope. And then we have this beautiful hoodie that I have on because in California it's hoodie weather all the time. So at least at nighttime, don't be stupid. And sometimes we get those heat strokes. That. Here's the original logo right here. that it'll be up for
Slide.
sale. And all hoodies are going to be on sale for the Record Fairy said shirts will be 20, mugs will be 10, sweatshirts, which is we have a couple sweatshirts. Here's one of the sweatshirts. I actually wore this one yesterday. I test everything because I want to make sure it's right.
Quality control.
Yeah, man. Because I can't sell you nothing that I wouldn't rock. So sweatshirts. Yeah, this hoodie I wore today to go get my massage. It's so unprofessional, but you know, that's Daryl. I feel like David Letterman when they were doing something with the live animals and whatnot. This show right here, this shirt I'm going to send to Jonathan. Not Jonathan. I'm so sorry. I'm going to send this to Joshua. Jonathan, I love you, man. We'll work something out.
Peace, JB.
Yeah, we'll work something out, JB. But this one goes to Joshua, man, just for his efforts of him. And this one is beautiful. This is another original logo shirt, and he gets that one just for him, just being such a cool guy. Why do I have so many white? Oh, this is the white hoodie. So this is what I did that original promo in, So we got a couple little things here going on for you guys, man. I'm real weird on just all white shirts, but Music Fairy told me to do it, so I did it. Record Fairy, her name isn't Music Fairy. And then we have this red one here. The red logo is just seem to be my favorite. I love the red logo. It's just really cool and clean. What you say there, JB? He said all good. Y'all have done. JB, we haven't done enough.
Yeah, we haven't done enough, brother.
Yeah, we haven't done enough, and this will be the last one. And I have a
and we
great
thank
t-shirt.
you as well for all you've done.
Indeed, it's a great T-shirt with this red and white logo also, and we also have this, man. So it's a couple hoodies there, a couple T-shirts, mug, of course. Just a little something. Stickers are coming, everything, man. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for your support. I know a couple people asked me what's going on with the shirts. When are they coming? Well, the shirts will be here tomorrow. So I'll definitely post that in the Instagram. That's Music is the Key Podcast, at Music is the Key Podcast on Instagram. And I'll post the links on the SoundCloud. There'll also be a link right here on YouTube. So if you guys want to purchase those shirts, they'll be there for you. But I'm only doing pre-orders. You got to be smart about it. I didn't want to keep a bunch of inventory in here because Record Fairy will probably put me up out of here. So we just want to make sure that we're doing pre-orders, and I want to make sure that everybody gets everything that they have. But I'm going to let you guys know, for those of you that order the T-shirts, understand, if you order a large, make sure you're in shape for a large, because these mugs, these them shirts that look good on you, but if you're looking like Winnie the Pooh, that large is gonna be it's gonna be kind of snug up here. You're gonna be like, oh bother. So yeah, it's gonna be a little. So yeah, man, that's what we have going on right now, man.
Shout out to Winnie the Pooh.
Man, Winnie was my guy. I'll save you, little piglet. The way he used to say piglet, he would say the whole piglet.
Yeah.
Piglet. What did he say one time, man? He was like, and I still laugh at this to this day. I find it on YouTube. He was like, I have a rumbly in my tummy. Man, that junk was so funny to me because I think I was smoking that day, and I just happened to be watching that thing, man, and it was the funniest thing I ever seen, bro. I have a rumbly in my tummy. It was just the funniest thing, man.
So this is what you get at Music is the Key. We might be playing Miles Davis. We might be talking about Winnie the Pooh.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll have those things will be available tomorrow for pre-order. So thank you guys for all of your love and support. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right, y'all. Thank you again for tuning in to another week of Music is the Key.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you bang that like button, hit the like button, man. We're trying to get this thing right. And tell your friends too. We like to have fun here. And as you guys see, we're 100% interactive. So make sure you tell your friends and
tell your friends to get with our friends, and maybe we could be friends.
And I got a text from someone who's going to be helping me with some tech support here, and they said they'll get the hoodie. So hey, we got one sold. So so shout out to everybody that's here, man, and much love to everybody. And Bruce, you'll get your I'm sending yours out tomorrow, and I also will be sending out the shirt to Joshua tomorrow also. And everybody else, I'm sorry, I it is what it is. But we'll have everything going, and pretty soon, man, the whole world will be able to have those. So yeah.
Music is the key, y'all. Once again, peace and love.